place so cold that your breath turns to ice in seconds. A place where the sun doesn't rise for months and storms rage at 300 kilometers per hour. Now, what if we told you this frozen desert hides secrets that could change the world? From waterfalls that look like blood to ancient forests buried under miles of ice, Antarctica is full of mysteries. But here's the kicker. Superpowers like the US, China, and Russia are racing to control it. Why? Because beneath all that ice lies something priceless. Stick around, because today we're uncovering what's really happening in Antarctica. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. Antarctica is not your average continent. It's the coldest, driest, and windiest place on Earth. Temperatures here can drop to a bone-chilling negative 90 degrees Celsius, and snowstorms can reach speeds of up to 300 kilometers per hour. But here's a fun fact. Despite all the ice, Antarctica is technically a desert. That's because it gets only about 51 millimeters of rainfall each year. Yes, a desert made of ice. How cool is that? But what makes Antarctica even more interesting is that no humans live here permanently. It's the only continent in the world without a native population. And yet, for hundreds of years, countries have been fighting to claim parts of it. Why? Well, that's where the mystery begins. Take a look at the map of Antarctica. You'll see sections claimed by France, Norway, Australia, Britain, Chile, Argentina, and New Zealand. But why are so many countries interested in this frozen wasteland? What's hidden beneath all that ice that's making superpowers like the US, China, and Russia send expeditions there? The answer lies in the secrets buried under the ice. But before we get into that, let's talk about who actually discovered Antarctica. The discovery of Antarctica is a bit of a debate. The British say they did it, while the Russians claim they were first. But the story goes back even further. Thousands of years ago, the Greek philosopher Aristotle talked about the Earth being round and mentioned that the North and South poles were mirror images of each other. Fast forward to 2021, and a study by the Royal Society of New Zealand suggested that the Maori people from Polynesia might have been the first humans to reach Antarctica in the 7th century. Their ancient stories mention an icy continent in the southern part of the world. But in recorded history, British officer James Cook was the first European to cross the Antarctic Circle in the 1770s. However, he never actually set foot on the continent. He turned back 130 kilometers away because the conditions were too dangerous. It wasn't until 1820 that a Russian explorer named Fabian von Bellingshausen became the first person in modern history to see Antarctica up close. He didn't land on it, but he proved that the continent existed. Between 1900 and 1920, Antarctica became the ultimate challenge for explorers. One of the most famous expeditions was led by British explorer Robert Falcon Scott in 1911. Scott and his team traveled nearly 400 miles inland, but on their way back, they were hit by extreme weather and starvation. Sadly, Scott and his entire team died in the cold. After World War I, countries started sending teams to Antarctica to claim parts of the continent. In 1939, Nazi Germany even dropped flags from the air to mark their territory. But it wasn't until after World War II that things got really interesting. In the 20th century, scientists made some mind-blowing discoveries in Antarctica. The first was that this icy continent wasn't always frozen. Around 90 million years ago, Antarctica was covered in dense forests. Scientists found fossilized wood and even fossils of insects that only live in warm climates. Can you imagine a warm, green Antarctica? It's hard to believe, but it's true. But that's not all. Beneath the 3-kilometer thick ice, there are over 400 underground lakes, each with its own unique ecosystem. These lakes are home to strange creatures like giant spiders and transparent jellyfish. It's like a whole other world down there. One of the most bizarre sights in Antarctica is the Blood Falls in McMurdo Valley. It looks like blood is flowing out of the ice, but don't worry, it's not actually blood. Scientists discovered that the red color comes from a highly salty lake beneath the ice. The water is rich in iron, and when it flows out and comes into contact with oxygen, it rusts, giving it that eerie red color. Nature sure has a way of surprising us. Now, let's talk about the conspiracy theories. Some people believe that an ancient civilization lies buried under the ice. Others claim that alien spaceships have been spotted in Antarctica. In 2016, Google Earth showed some unusual activities in the region, which conspiracy theorists called UFOs. But political experts think these might be secret air operations by countries like the US and Russia. Whether it's aliens or secret missions, one thing is clear: Antarctica is a hotspot for mystery. So why are countries like the US, China, and Russia so interested in Antarctica? It's not just about scientific research. In 1992, a survey by the US Geological Department revealed that Antarctica holds natural gas and oil reserves of about 500 billion barrels. But that's not all. Recently, massive reserves of rare earth minerals like ohmium, praseodymium, terbium, and dysprosium have been discovered. These materials are used in everything from smartphones to electric cars, and their demand is skyrocketing. The future is all about renewable energy and electric vehicles, and controlling these resources could give countries a huge advantage. That's why Antarctica has become a battleground for superpowers. Let's not forget the Southern Ocean, which surrounds Antarctica. It's one of the most dangerous seas in the world, but it's also incredibly important. The Southern Ocean connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and controls the planet's climate and water supply. It absorbs 15% of the world's carbon emissions, making it a key player in fighting climate change. But with global warming, the ice in Antarctica is melting, revealing hidden treasures and opening up new trade routes. Oceans that were once inaccessible are now becoming crucial for global trade. Scientists are still studying Antarctica, and who knows what other mysteries they'll uncover in the future. From ancient forests to underground lakes and rare minerals, this frozen continent is full of surprises. But as countries compete for control, we have to ask ourselves, what does the future hold for Antarctica? Will it remain a place of scientific discovery, or will it become a battleground for resources? Antarctica is more than just a frozen desert. It's a land of extremes, mysteries, and hidden treasures. From the blood falls to ancient forests and rare minerals, this continent continues to captivate us. But as we explore its secrets, we also need to think about how to protect it. After all, Antarctica is not just a piece of land, it's a vital part of our planet's ecosystem. So what do you think is hidden beneath the ice? Do you believe in the conspiracy theories, or do you think it's all about resources? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.